The company party was supposed to be harmless, just one of those annual events spouses attend out of obligation, small talk, free drinks, polite smiles, and an early exit. My wife had insisted I come this time. "It'll be good for you to see my world," she said. I didn't realize what she meant by that. The venue was upscale. Dim lights, live music, servers weaving through the crowd with champagne. Her coworkers were already buzzing when we arrived. My wife slipped into the room like she owned it, confident, radiant, energized in a way I hadn't seen at home in a long time. She barely introduced me. I stood beside her, hand in my pocket, while she floated from group to group. At first, I told myself I was imagining things. She laughed louder than usual, touched arms when she spoke, leaned in close, too close. Then her boss walked in. I recognized him immediately. Tall, sharp suit, effortless charisma. The room subtly reoriented around him. My wife's face lit up like she'd been waiting all night. She crossed the room without a glance back at me. I watched her greet him, hugging him tightly, lingering longer than necessary. They laughed. She said something that made him grin, and then, right there, in front of coworkers, clients, and spouses, she kissed him. Not on the cheek, on the lips. It wasn't long, it wasn't dramatic, but it was deliberate. The room didn't freeze, but something shifted. A few people looked away, others pretended not to notice. Someone cleared their throat. And my wife? She pulled back smiling, hand still on his arm, and said loudly, "This man is the reason our department succeeds. Honestly, I wouldn't be where I am without him." She said it with pride, admiration, devotion. I was standing less than 10 feet away. I didn't react. No raised voice, no confrontation, no storming out. I didn't even change my expression, and that, I think, unsettled her more than anything else could have. I simply watched. I watched how easily she praised him, how she spoke about his leadership, his vision, his support. Words she hadn't used for me in years. I watched how comfortable she was touching him, laughing with him, standing beside him like they were a unit. I watched people glance at me, then quickly look away. Humiliation has a strange clarity to it. It sharpens your senses. I noticed things I had ignored for months, how she angled her body away from me, how she checked his reaction after every joke, how she never once looked back to see if I was okay. After a while, she returned to my side, flushed and smiling. "Isn't he amazing?" she said casually, as if she hadn't just crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. I nodded, took a sip of my drink. She frowned. "You're quiet." "Just listening," I said. She searched my face, expecting anger, hurt, jealousy, something. I gave her nothing. We stayed another half hour. She continued orbiting him. I continued observing, and somewhere between the speeches and the applause, something inside me settled. Not sadness, not rage, but certainty. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't alcohol. This wasn't harmless. This was who she had already chosen. On the drive home, she talked nonstop. About work, about how inspiring the night was, about how lucky she felt. I said very little. At home, she kicked off her heels and asked lightly, "You're not mad, right?" I looked at her for a long moment, really looked at her. "No," I said, "I'm clear." That confused her. I went to bed early, slept better than I had in months. The next morning, I didn't accuse her. I didn't bring up the kiss. I didn't demand explanations. Instead, I started doing something she hadn't expected. I detached. I focused on myself, my routines, my work, my finances. I stopped asking about her day, stopped waiting up, stopped filling the silence. I became calm, polite, distant, and that's when she started to unravel. She asked why I was so cold, why I didn't seem bothered, why I wasn't fighting. I finally answered her one evening, weeks later. "You kissed another man in public," I said evenly. "Praised him, chose him, right in front of me. I didn't react because I didn't need to. I saw everything I needed to see." She tried to minimize it. "It was just a kiss. He's my boss. You're overthinking." I shook my head. It wasn't the kiss. It was the ease, the pride, the way you forgot I existed. She had no response to that. We didn't explode, we didn't scream, we didn't have a dramatic ending, but something fundamental ended that night at the party. And the most powerful thing I did, the thing she never forgot, was not reacting in the moment she expected it most. Because anger would have meant I still needed her validation. Silence meant I already had my answer.